So once you collect your data, what you're going to do is click on the send button, which is up here in the top right corner. You're going to send your data as a graphical analysis file, and then you're going to choose open in, and you're going to choose graphical analysis. This will open your data. You can hit the X here. What we're going to do now is really quickly go to the table and activate the table. I'm going to close the graph. These calculated columns for X and Y velocity are not correct, so we're going to delete them. So I'm going to delete the X velocity column, and I'm going to click on these three dots right here and delete the Y calculated velocity. So here we have the time, the X position, and the Y position of the ball. Now I'm going to add some new calculated columns. So click on these three dots right here. We're going to add a calculated column. I'm going to call this the X velocity, and the units are going to be in meters per second. Meters per second. And the way I'm going to calculate it, I'm going to go down here where it says insert expression, and I'm going to click first derivative. Since this is the X velocity, the first column is going to be X, and the second column is going to be time. And then I'm going to hit apply. And what that will do is insert a column where it calculates the velocity of your object. I'm going to click on these three dots again and add another calculated column. This is going to be the Y velocity. The units are meters per second. And I'm going to insert an expression. I'm going to click on first derivative, and I want to choose the Y and the time. So this is time. And that will calculate the velocity in the Y direction. And now what you can do is you can go back to graphs, hide your table, and you can look at any graph you want. Time is on the X-axis. If we wish to look at the X position versus time, we will just turn on X. And then here's a graph of the X position versus time. If you need to find its slope, you can highlight a section of it, and you can apply a curve fit, and you can hit apply, and there's the slope right there, 1.47 in my case. Okay? If you want to look at a different graph, if you don't want to look at X, if you want to look at Y instead of X, you can turn off X, turn on Y, and here's a graph of the Y position versus time. And then if you wanted to look at the velocity in the Y direction, for example, you could click there, and that will show you a graph of the velocity versus the Y direction. So in today's lab, we're not going to spend much time trying to work on making pretty graphs. We just want to look at the data, and so you're just going to do figure out what you're being asked to find and plot that on the Y-axis and the X-axis, and then you're just going to take a screenshot and use that for lab today. Okay?